Hello, grade 3. Welcome to a new class of English. Today we're going to start with a new unit which is about play scripts, and we will explain later on, inshallah, about what is a play script. Now, I want you to look at page 86 in the student's book and see what is happening here in the picture. You can see that students actually, are greeting each other. They are saying hi to each other. But the way that they're saying hi to each other is different from the way that we know. They are touching each other's nose. So this is the way that people in some places in the world greet each other. Now, for us in Jordan, we usually shake hands, or shake hands with a hug, or shake hands with a kiss on the cheek. Now, people in New Zealand, New Zealander, they are called Maori people. These people are called Maori people, and they greet each other by touching each other's nose. Now, this is how some people greet other people. They bow, like in Japan and in China, they bow to each other. They bow their back so that they show respect to the other person. So this is the main idea of this picture here that you can see. Now, today's objective is to be able to give English meanings of the vocab words and use them in sentences. Now, the first thing that I want you to see is, please don't open your books right now. I don't want your books. Just focus with me. We are here in page 87 in the student's book, and we're going to learn about these new words, which are culture, greet, and Maori. Let's just read the meanings, and then we will be able to match them later. Now, the first people to settle in New Zealand. So the first people who lived in New Zealand. Number two, the way of life of a group of people, including their language, customs, art, and music. So the way that people live, which includes their language, Arabic, English, Chinese, Japanese, anything. Then we have customs, and we talked about customs a lot in even social studies. And then we have art and music. And the third meaning is to meet or welcome. Let's get to meet them one by one. Now, the first one is culture. Now, culture is the way that a group of people live, the way of living of group of people, which includes the language, the culture, the customs. It's called culture. Now, look here, we can see that this person is from France because of the way that they dress, of the way they look. We can see that here, this is a person from Japan, Korea, Britain, India, Mexico. I don't know what this. These are Native Americans. We have Chinese. We have different Holland, I think. We have African people. We have American people. So different cultures, which means different ways of living. We have also the Arab way of living, the Arab culture, and the Islamic culture. Now, the second meaning that we're going to be introduced to is greet. Greet is to meet or welcome someone. Some people greet by shaking hands, some people by hugging, and we have the people who are touching their nose, some people bow. So this is different way of greeting people. Now, the third one is Maori, which are people. People are called Maori, like we are Jordanians, they are Maori people. They are the first people who settled in New Zealand. And you can see how they look different, how they are dressed differently. Now, next one is ceremony, which means a festival or a celebration that you make to a special occasion, to a special time or place. For example, if King Abdullah goes to Japan, for example, they would make a ceremony to welcome him, which means like a special party or festival. Look here, this is a special country. They go to it and they make a ceremony. Look here, this is a ceremony for the Maori people. These are Maori people, and part of their ceremony is sticking out their tongues. Look at their tongue, it's out, and they dance with making some sounds. This is all part of their ceremony, and the plural of ceremony is ceremonies. And don't forget that the Y, because it doesn't have a vowel before it, we turn it into I and then add es. Now, next word is carving, which is making special shapes with wood or stone in order to make a special pattern. Carving. So this is carving without breaking it like this. So carving. Next one is visitor, which is someone from outside who comes to a place. For example, someone from outside the country who comes to my country, or someone from outside my house comes to my house. So these are visitors. Last word that we're going to be introduced to is cultural dances, which are dances that are special, cultural, related, special to a certain people. For example, here in Jordan, we have a cultural dance which is dabke. So dabke is a cultural dance. Here, the girl here is making or performing a special dance, a cultural dance for her country. Now, let's go back to page 87 and let's answer the questions. As we said, we have culture, Greek, and Maori. The first one is the first people to settle in New Zealand. What was it? Who were the first people to settle in New Zealand? Excellent job, Maori. Now, the way of life of a group of people, including their language, customs, art, and music. What is it? The way of life. Excellent, it's culture. And finally, to meet or welcome. When you meet someone, you greet them, you welcome them, greet. Now you can pause the video and go and get your book, page 87 in the student's book, and please write on it the answer. Now let's go to number B. Copy the sentences and use the words below to fill the gaps. Now the words we were also introduced to, we have paint, carving, ceremonies, visitors, and dances. The Maori hold special to welcome to their country. They often perform, and sometimes their faces. Arts such as weaving and are also important in Maori culture. Now, let's start answering together. The Maori hold special parties or festivals. It is excellent. Ceremonies to welcome people who come from outside to their country. Visitors, amazing job. They often perform. What do they do in front of them? Dances, excellent job. And sometimes their faces. What would they do with their faces? They would paint their faces. Arts such as weaving and look at the picture here. You can see what is this. Carving, excellent, are also important in Maori culture. Now, let's review the words that we learned today. The first one is culture. I love the Japanese culture, for example. Culture means the way of living of a group of people, which includes the language, the art, and the customs. Number two is greet. I saw Sammy yesterday and I greeted him. So greet means to welcome or meet. Now, Maori. I love the movies about the Maori people. So Maori is the people who first settled, who lived in New Zealand. Ceremony, which is a party or a special festival. The Koreans made a special ceremony for the king. Carving. I love the carving on the wood. Carving means to make special decorations using rocks or wood by making special patterns. Visitor. Yesterday we had 2 new visitors. Visitor means someone who comes from outside to the inside. Now, cultural dances. Dabke is one of the cultural dances in Jordan and Palestine. And that's it. Thank you very much, grade 3. Have a nice day and see you later. Next time we're going to start with a play script, so I can't wait to show it to you. Bye.